Hey everybody, Chris Niosi here, creator of TOME and voice of Kerbifer and Zeto. It's the third year anniversary of the Terrain of Magical Expertise. In our world, not in the world of the show. They were just celebrating the first year anniversary, but I digress. Thank you all so much if you're listening to this, and I assume you're a fan of the show. Thanks so much for supporting us. At the time I'm recording this, I am about halfway done with episode 13, which is the third of the season 2 episodes that we were funded through our GoFundMe page. Thanks to you guys. So thank you all again very, very much for that and for your continued support. So what I decided to do, once again, I did this last year, is collect some questions from people, this time from the TOME Facebook page, and do a little Q&A about the series and cover some things that people were curious about. I wish I was able to do something like more in depth and more interesting and cool for the anniversary, but I'm super busy. I'm working on the show itself, of course, which has to come first and foremost. And I'm also about to be visiting New York soon, so I just need to get as much time for animation done as I possibly can. And I don't want to waste time with anything else that's not super important. But I did want to do something to celebrate because it's been amazing that 3 years later we've managed to get 12 full TV show length episodes as well as 7 shorts and a bunch of other stuff in the interim. Finished in 3 years. It was on this day, 11/11 in 2011. The first episode premiered on Newgrounds, and here we are. So yeah, thank you guys, and I guess let's jump right into the questions. I'm going to start off with one that was asked by many people pretty much the second episode 11 came out. Okay, so everybody asked, why did you change the character designs and give them monochromatic color schemes? I really did not think this was going to be that big of a deal, and I did not even imagine how many people were going to be upset by this. But honestly, the answer is really straightforward and simple. I just felt like it because I thought it would be interesting. If obviously the show is very anime influenced, and as is often the case with long running, far more long running anime series than my thing. Characters go through outfit changes, especially when there are time skips. And so I thought, when I decided to have this be considered the second season, because I didn't even think I was going to set it up like this with dividing them into seasons or whatever. I just thought, hey, you know what? It might be interesting to give them a little bit of a change of outfit or whatever. And so I came up with these new designs. Sometime maybe over a year and a half ago or something, a long time ago. And planned to have them switch to those new outfits and everything, starting from after the big battle with Zeto in episode 10. And I just thought, oh, this might be interesting. And similarly, the monochromatic color scheme thing, that was inspired by, in particular, there was a show I watched called Romeo x Juliet. It was an anime series that was like a fantasy adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. And in that series, all the characters had these kind of monochromatic color schemes that I thought was really interesting. All the Capulets had, kind of warm colors like reds, oranges, yellows, and the Montagues had, darker colors like kind of, blues, greens, etc. And I thought, oh, that might be interesting to do something kind of like that. Like, I can make Kerbifer more on the blue side because by that point people will know that he and Zeto are the same person. And, I can kind of have Alpha fully have the red, so it'll be the red versus blue thing, and Flamey can have more of a yellow sort of thing, etc. That was it. I didn't really mean to hurt anyone. I'm sorry. So I guess I apologize that people were so attached to the season 1 designs or whatever, but it really was just, I just wanted to creatively do something different. I really didn't think that hard about it. Not as in I didn't care, but I just didn't think that it was going to have the reaction that it got. So, yeah, I hope you'll, maybe grow to like them and maybe get used to them after a while. I don't know, but at the very least, I do appreciate that people enjoyed the original designs so much. And I guess, if anything, it means to trust my instincts because I got a lot of critique early on about the color schemes for the Season 1 designs and tried to take that into consideration when I was making the Season 2 designs. So we'll say that I learned something. Who knows? All right, so moving on. Cole Cow asked, can you describe the process of animating an episode of TOME? It's pretty straightforward. I think I might have covered some of this stuff before, but just because, if you find it interesting. So, first of all, we have the scripts usually all written ahead of time. We had a bunch of them all plotted out, far before the animation process begins. Once all the actors are recorded and any new necessary music is finished, what I will do is I will cut together all of the individual scenes that would make up an entire episode. Usually they're anywhere from 1 to maybe 5 minutes. What I would typically do is then take one of the scenes in their proper order, of course, and then I would open up a new flash file. I would have the audio for that scene in the timeline. This would have all of the dialogue cut to the right timing and the music placed and everything. No sound effects yet. And first I would take care of all the simple, easy kind of stuff. The sprite animation, the talking avatar conversations with the text bubbles and everything. They're the kind of easy stuff that I could just use the assets that are meant for reusable purposes like that. Get that stuff done out of the way first. And then I would go back in and set up all of the detailed animation shots, which I would do like rough drawings for and everything. And I would lay out the key drawings first for each shot, and then I would go back in and do the in-betweens for each of them. And then what I used to do is then do all of the lip-sync animation, but now, thankfully, I have Jan Animations helping out with that. So then when I finish the animation for a scene, I'll draw like a bunch of example mouths for him to like reuse and kind of sync around properly, and I'll pass along the file to him, and then he'll do that and send it back to me, and then it'll be 100% done. When the animation is done, even if the lip sync isn't fully animated yet, to kind of keep the production process moving, then I will hand off the video file. I'll export a video file of the scene with the full animation and give that to Shady for him to do the sound effects design and mastering. I give him also, along with the video file, the different layers of the sound. I'll give him the layer with all the dialogue, a few different layers of that, and then the music as well, and then he'll kind of combine it all together and make it sound nice. And then once that's all done, I give everything to, now we've had the help of Zero Incorporated with cutting together the final video file, because Swivel is the program I usually use for exporting the episodes as a giant video file, but because a lot of them are over 22 minutes long, and that's the limit of how long something you can export from Swivel is, I haven't been able to do that, and so Zero Incorporated, who's done a lot of really awesome TOME AMVs, has helped out recently, and she's been great to have her on board. So and then after that, we just upload it for YouTube, schedule it for release, and then you get to see it, and that's pretty much how it goes. Nicholas Salas asked, which of the Net Kings were your favorite to write, and which of the voice actors was your favorite to work with? This is going to sound like a total cop-out answer, but I genuinely mean it. All of them. The Net Kings were something that I was really excited about with getting to, even before it was considered season 2, just in general, getting up to the part of the story where these characters were going to come in. I didn't always originally think I was going to get a bunch of amazing veteran special guest voice actors to come in and play all of them, but I think it worked really well because the kind of contrast between them and the voices of the main characters, who are, they're all played by younger folks who are, we're all in like our 20s or so, and the veterans who are playing the Net Kings are older and far more experienced than us. You can really feel that in their performances. All of them, honestly, were great to work with. Kyle Hebert, who's been on board with the show for a long time as webmaster. Michelle Knotts as Kinder Spirit, who we've had since the first episode doing the system voice. Todd Habercorn, Yuri Lowenthal, John St. John, all really amazing people, super gracious. They were all really interested to be part of the project, like genuinely. And on the note of Yuri, who everybody was freaking out about in the comments when they heard him in episode 12, having Yuri and also Mona Marshall and Bryce Pappenbrook, who were not Net Kings, but obviously they were they were part of Net King software as Bishop and Chase Ace. Having the three of them in the show, because all three of them played protagonist characters in the Dot Hack series, and obviously Dot Hack is one of the biggest influences on TOME. Having them in there in particular was a really, really major honor, and I was very happy to have them part of the project. So that was a majorly cool thing for me. And again, both great people to work with. Writing their dialogue and all their crazy character quirks and everything was really fun. It was a blast. It was a total honor, and I'm really glad that people like those characters as much as I do, because they were really exciting, and I think you'll enjoy some of the further stuff you're going to get to learn about the Net Kings as we go through the rest of season 2. All right, so moving on. Kendall Ann Smith asked, if each of the main Tome heroes, and let's include Zeto and Kizuna, were of legal drinking age, what would each of their drinks of choice be, based on their personalities and such? Might be a fun one. This is a fun one, so thank you for asking this one. I don't drink. I'm straight edge, so I have no idea. But thankfully, our lovely script supervisor, Liz Losey, weighed in on this one. I asked her for some advice on what would their drinks be of choice, because she loves her alk. So based on her descriptions and her expertise in the terrain of alcoholic expertise, Alpha would have a screwdriver. Flamey would enjoy strawberry daiquiri. Nylock would have a pint, English ale. Although Martin, Little Karibo, says that either mead or Smirnoff Ice would also work, which, I would agree. Kizuna would have straight whiskey because she doesn't mess around. Curb and Zeto, Curb/Zeto, because of the fact that I'm straight edge, they would have rum and coke one time and then would totally be acting drunk for the whole rest of the night at the party where they tried it, and then would be told later that there wasn't actually any rum in that coke. So, and GC doesn't drink. Moving on. Sarah Jones asked, I was wondering, what is your favorite episode and or your favorite moment of voice acting? A line you did that made you laugh, or something one of the other voice actors did. Thanks. Well, I don't think I have a specific moment that made me laugh the most, because honestly, all of the actors, I mentioned the veterans before, but also my main cast, are all amazing to work with. They do great stuff. We're always making each other laugh. There's so many stupid bloopers. I need to make a blooper reel at some point. Maybe I'll do that after the show is over. Not a particular moment in the recording process, but as far as a favorite episode goes, episode 6 has a special place in my heart, really because of just how much it connected with people. I mentioned in the Q&A from last year that the moment in episode 4 as well, where they're all kind of sitting around, the 5 of them, and talking about, how good friends they are, and etc., which is why I had a little bit of a call back to that in episode 12, and how much their friendship has grown since all the stuff that they've been through. But episode 6 definitely was one that was very... I'm just really proud of that one, and how much it resonated with people, and how much they really liked Nylock, and how much development he had and everything. From a self-indulgent perspective, 5 and 10 are also favorites, because anytime I ever get to do anything cool with Zeto, that's just fun for me personally. That's very self-indulgent, but and honestly, I'm excited to get up to the following episodes of season 2. I think that those are going to be really cool, and I really hope that they become some of people's new favorites. Obviously, I can't spoil anything about them yet, because I want to keep absolutely everything that I possibly can as much of a surprise as possible, so you can really get something out of it and it can really be impactful. But I'm really excited about those. I hope you will be too. That's the first half of the questions, so we're going to pause here, and I'm going to go to part 2 of this Q&A. So I'll have an annotation up here. You can click that and go to part 2, and hope you enjoy and get something cool out of the following 5 questions. See you in part 2.